Siobhan, thanks for talking to me about relationships in times of crisis. I know at the moment we're focused on the immediate emergency with these bushfires. When and how do stresses often appear in relationships?
I think as far as timing, they start almost immediately. If we think about our natural response to stress, which would mean that our anxiety and stress levels are on the incline and that our kind of general ability to cope and our patience and tolerance is kind of on the decline. I think there's a few factors involved as far as how it plays out in a relationship. So one of them being that we lose all of our routine. Routine goes out the window, so all of the things that we normally rely upon for, that sense of control and predictability in our world, that all falls by the wayside, as well as other things that we normally would prioritise, which might be time with our partner, spending time however we normally like to do. So I think the stresses, they can include things like disruption to our paid employment. They can be things depending on our living arrangements and how we've been impacted by the natural disaster. That can change enormously. Thinking about our children, our pets, childcare arrangements, and any other commitments we have. It's like our whole world as we know it shifts and changes. So that's when we start to see the cracks appearing in a relationship.
So, once the stresses do appear, and given that everything else that's happening in the disaster is sort of front of mind, how can we address the stress and still be able to function and respond to what's happening around us?
I think the first step here is to actually acknowledge what's happening. I think to acknowledge, the disaster and the stress and kind of call it for what it is, that's really important. Things aren't going to be as normal and as grounded as they normally are. So first step would be acknowledging that, this is a heightened time for the both of us and the relationship is going to possibly be a bit shaky at times, and that's okay. I think if we can lower those expectations, that in its own self can decrease those stress levels and the pressure that we feel. So other things that we can do once the stress has set in is, I think, to keep communication as being the key part to getting through it. So making time to talk with our partner, sharing our fears, our anxieties, our concerns about whatever's going on in our world. Certainly things like also being able to take a break and have time out. So amongst everything that's happening around you, if we can still find time to maintain some kind of connection with our partner. So whatever that looks like in your relationship, it might be that you go for walks together. So taking an hour, time out, trying not to focus on the disaster that's at hand and just changing the subject and having just that bit of a cognitive break from the stress.
Great. And what could couples do, thinking about future stresses in our lives and possibility of future disasters? What can couples do now to prevent their relationship from coming under a lot of strain in the future?
I think we really need to keep at the forefront of our thoughts that natural disasters do happen, and most of us at some point in our life are going to face a point of crisis. So if we're thinking about the health and well-being of us as individuals and in our relationship, I think the really important thing is that we remember to turn in towards each other rather than turning away. So by that I mean keeping, as I said before, communication, keeping it open. So whatever anxieties or fears that you have going on in that moment, share it with your partner. So it's like they're on the same journey as you. You're both aware of, how each other are doing. You're on the same page. Sharing the responsibilities, drawing on each other's strengths, and just being able to lean on each other. Another thing that's particularly important at this point in time is whatever kindnesses that we offer each other normally, we really ramp them up. So affection, a hug can go a really long way. Offering to make your partner a cup of tea, or if you see they're struggling, just to give them that offer of support. Look, you take a break and I'll take over. Just kind of tag teaming each other.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Siobhan, for spending time this morning.
Welcome.